Afternoon, gang. How are we all? So I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball question at you. Most of my videos that I put on are about politics, current affairs, news, what's going on, a bit of a rant about someone or something. But I do have a wider life. I do have other interests. And whilst I might have a bit of a London accent and probably come across as not the most educated, erudite, intelligent person on the planet, I like history. I like to read about stuff. I like to think about stuff. So this video is a bit of a different one. It's nothing to do with the usual types of videos I make. It's about culture. It's about human progress. It's about civilization. And I can feel lots of you going, oh, fuck me, that sounds boring. Keep watching. I want to know whether you agree with me or disagree with me. So many people would have you believe that as civilizations, as people, as humanity, we've progressed, that we're totally different to the people from the past. To my mind, that's bullshit. You're just kidding yourselves. Do you genuinely think that there are loads of people wandering around today that are more clever, more intelligent, more worldly than Socrates and Plato, better leaders than Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar? They're not. What's changed is the stuff around us. Technology, the ability to travel, medicine, the ability to grow and eat our own food. And that is just a process of evolution, a process of knowledge being gathered and extrapolated and used. But that doesn't mean we're any different. We've just found new, cleverer, more sneaky ways of doing each other over and killing each other, which means we don't have to do it face to face on the battlefield with swords. But nothing else really has changed. In here, we are still exactly the same species of people that we were 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. Nothing has changed. And for everyone that says, no, but we've progressed, we've become more civilized, civilization is better, I'm going to counter that argument and say, really, have we? It depends how you measure progress. Things are a lot more convenient now. Things are a lot easier now. Things are much quicker now, but does that mean they're better? Does that mean we've progressed? Does that mean we've improved stuff? Let me give you one very good example, and I'm going to show you 2 or 3 video clips, so please keep watching. Architecture. Let's look at architecture, and then you tell me whether we've progressed. Have a quick look at this. What do you think? An absolutely stunning, beautiful, sensational building was built a long time ago, before we had any of the modern day tools, the ability to measure, laser guidance, cranes, mechanical diggers, incredible cutting tools and technology. And yet look at it. Look at how stunning that is. Look at how absolutely perfect that is. How do you build something like that just purely through physical labour? How do you imagine and draw the architecture for something like that with zero technology, just pencils and paper? How do you maneuver the huge amounts of stone involved in that? How do you carve and chisel and shape those incredible figures? And then have a look at this one. This is just a quick picture. Look at the height of that ceiling, the beauty of that roof, the stained glass, the colours, the lighting. Again, very, 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 very old, long before any of the technology that we just take for granted today. And then one final clip, have a look at this one. That's the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome, which took years of one man's life laying flat on his back to paint 500 years ago-ish. So my question to you is this. All of those buildings were built hundreds of years ago, sometimes many hundreds of years ago, and they're all unbelievably beautiful and stunning. I defy you to show one building that comes even vaguely close in the last 100 years, even slightly. They're just not. They're all blocky glass and concrete monstrosities. There's no beauty to them whatsoever. They might be impressive, they might be huge, they might make you go, wow, look at the size of that. They're not beautiful. They're not stunning. They're not progress as such. You could argue the same about art. The Sistine Chapel and the artists of that period, using very basic pigmentations and colours and brushes and materials, created stunning pieces of art that will live in people's memories for hundreds and hundreds of years. How many artists from the last 50 years do you think people will still be looking at in 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 years? I'll give you that answer. Very, very, very few. So have we really progressed? Are things better? Why are architects, with all of the technology at their disposal, building shit, drab, crappy, boring buildings? Why can we not construct the unbelievable edifices and cathedrals and beautiful buildings and civic buildings that we were building even 100 years ago, 150 years ago? Why are we building these grey, crappy, horrible concrete blocks or glass towers? Why are we not decorating buildings properly? Why are we not building swooping arches and buttresses? Is it just money? Is it just cheap? But again, is that an emphasis on doing things for efficiency and for cheapness rather than to raise the level of humanity? We used to do things, we used to build things because we should, because we could, because the challenge was there. Now we do it because it makes financial sense, because it fits in. So I don't think we have progressed. I think we are the same people we used to be, but perhaps without the lofty heights of ambition that we used to have. And I'm really sorry if that has bored you. I'm really sorry if that rambled on a little bit too long. And I'm really sorry if it wasn't your topic. You have one of these, scroll on past. But hopefully you found that interesting. And if you like beautiful buildings, if you like architecture, if you like history, please let me know your thoughts on whether you think we as a species, as a humanity, have progressed. And if so, why are we doing such crap things as we are in architecture nowadays?